Hey, how's it going, YouTube? I'm back in the video, and today I'm talking about what the Memphis Grizzlies need to do to make the NBA Finals or to take the next step to develop their team and what they need to do to really get there and make their team that much better. So I'm going to be getting to all that in this video. I'm going to be going over pretty much the recap of their last season, what they need to do to take that next step, and just things like that. So if that sounds like something you're going to be interested in, please watch to the end, like the video, hit the subscribe button. I mean the absolute world to me. Y'all showed so much support in the last video, and I hope to keep that going. I know it's been a while since I uploaded, but I mean, it's just been like personal issues why I haven't been able to upload, and just like stupid stuff, hurricanes, just dumb stuff overall. So yeah, I'm sorry for not uploading in about a week now, but I am planning on getting the videos back up and going. So yeah, if you do like the video point, like I said, hit like button and subscribe button. But without further ado, without rambling on too much, let's get right into this video. Alright, so let's basically get into what happened during this season, like recap their season. So even before the season started, they were able to get the number 2 overall pick in the draft lottery, and they were able to select Ja Morant, who went on to win Rookie of the Year, averaging 18 points per game, 7.3 assists per game, 4 rebounds per game, on 47% shooting from the field, and 33% shooting from the three-point line. So I mean, you see that he was a very, very good rookie, and most definitely the right pick to make at the number 2 overall. Now yes, there was a little bit of controversy with the Rookie of the Year thing, but I think he deserved it, and I'm a Pelicans fan. I think he deserved Rookie of the Year because, I mean, Zion only played 20 games. Yes, he outplayed Ja Morant in those 20 games, but I mean, you have to see him do it for an entire season. Staying healthy is part of basketball, and Ja Morant showed that he, at least for his rookie year, was better at doing that than Zion Williamson, even if Zion did play much better than him in those few games that he was available. So yeah, I do think Ja Morant did deserve the Rookie of the Year, so they selected the Rookie of the Year with the number 2 overall pick, which is always a huge plus for your team, and a huge plus to the development, and a huge plus to like the young talent you get on your team. So I think Ja Morant is going to help this team be very good for the very near future. And also, I mean, the Memphis Grizzlies roster went from supposing to be one of the worst teams in the NBA to being a legit playoff contender and being in the playoff race all the way up until their final game, where they did end up losing to the Portland Trail Blazers in the play-in tournament. So yeah, but I mean, they were extremely close when they weren't even supposed to be anywhere near that mark. But now that we got the recap out of the way, let's get into what they need to do to take that next step and legitimately become like scary playoff contending teams. So I think no one would be surprised if they made the playoffs at this point. But now I want to get into what they need to do to actually legitimately be able to make playoff runs when they make it into the playoffs. So the first thing we get into, I mean, is probably the obvious one, which is develop / get more experience on the team. As I mean, that's just going to come with time. The Grizzlies right now have one of the youngest starting fives in the entire NBA. They actually have the youngest overall roster average age of everybody in the NBA at 25 point something, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, they're extremely, extremely young, and the oldest person on their starting five is a 28-year-old Giannis Valanciunas. So I mean, when your oldest player is 28 and hasn't even really started entering his prime or just started entering his prime, that is a huge, huge good sign for your teams, at least for your team's future, especially if your team's already a playoff contender at that young of like a starting lineup. So that is looking very, very bright for the Memphis Grizzlies. And then you take their 2 best players in their starting lineup. They have a total of 3 years of NBA experience under them. One of them is a Rookie of the Year, and the other one is Jarren Jackson Jr., who has been very, very good in the first 2 years of his career. So I mean, with them only having 3 years total combined, I mean, they have tons of experience that they need, tons of development they're going to have, and they've already shown that they're very good players in just their second and first years in the NBA, which is extremely important. And even their 6th man on the roster, Brandon Clark, was a rookie last year. So I mean, that just shows you how much of development they still have to go. Brandon Clark has potential to be one of the best players on this roster once he develops. I fully intend on him being a starter very shortly, and he's going to be a very good player for this Memphis Grizzlies team. Ja Morant has a chance to be a top 5 point guard in the NBA one day, and Jarren Jackson Jr. can legitimately be a very good power forward going into the NBA as well. I think they have a chance to have a legitimate big 3 between Jarren Jackson Jr., Brandon Clark, and Ja Morant. So I think once they develop and once they get that experience under their belt, which is going to take time in just big game situations, but the more they get and the more experience they get, the better they're going to get. Because we did see them kind of struggle when it came to the bubble. They started off losing a lot of games. I mean, they didn't play very good at all in the bubble, and it just was very, very obvious that they weren't playing too good in there, as I think they ended up going, what, 2-7 in the bubble? And yes, Jarren Jackson Jr. did go down with an injury, but I mean, still, you have to be better than that. Even, like, if if Ja Morant is going to be that top 5 point guard, you have to at least carry them to a few more wins, a 500 record in the bubble, because they actually choked their playoff seeding to Portland. They went from being the team you'd have to beat twice in the play-in tournament to being the team that had to win twice against the Portland Trailblazers because they did so bad in the NBA bubble, losing to rivals like I'm pretty sure the Spurs and the Pelicans, which you just cannot do. So I mean, they're gonna have to get better in these situations, and they will once they develop. I'm sure once they get more chemistry together, once they develop, once they get more big game situations under their belt, they're gonna be better in this bubble situation. Like, this bubble situation was probably the least favorable situation for the Memphis Grizzlies that they could have possibly got in, because I mean, it's pretty much putting all the pressure on the players. Here, play these 8 games to get into the playoffs, you're playing in, and I mean, I'm gonna take playoff and veteran experience over young talent any day in that type of situation. I just think overall it didn't really benefit them. The bubble didn't benefit the Grizzlies at all, and also they just aren't developed enough and they don't have enough experience, and that's why they struggled so much in the bubble and ultimately didn't end up making the NBA playoffs. And now the final thing I'm getting to for them to take that next step is going to be that they need to add more star talent. Now, I mean, they don't absolutely have to do this immediately, but I mean, they need to do it sooner rather than later, due to they still have Ja Morant on his rookie contract, Jarren Jackson Jr. still on his rookie contract, Brandon Clark still on his rookie contract. They have a lot of very talented players on very small contracts, so they need to sign these stars before they have to pay their stars that are already on the roster. So I mean, this year they don't really have to go for a superstar or anything, but I mean, they still can go for other talented veterans. Like Jeff Teuge would be good for them, Ibaka would be good for them, Andre Robertson could be good for them as a wing defensive guy. And then also, I mean, they could swing for the fences on Fred VanVleet, who has finals experience in winning an NBA finals, so he has big game experience as well, and he still kind of fits their timeline, and he's a very good scorer and player, and would probably fit very good alongside people like Ja Morant. So I think for sure that they need to add some more veteran experience and maybe some veteran star experience. Like, I think Ibaka is a borderline star level veteran, like not an all-star level player, but he's a star level veteran, tons of experience. Fred VanVleet's probably the best they can get, and I think Fred VanVleet would be huge for this roster, but I think there would be more benefit of getting someone like Jeff Teuge or Ibaka because of how much more they're going to benefit them experience-wise and just like be able to guide the young guys through big game situations. So I think personally they need more add veteran talent and more like veteran leadership to this roster. So yeah, but unfortunately guys, that's me for this video. So comment below, do you agree with me? Do you think that this is what the Memphis Grizzlies need to do to take their next step, or do you think I missed something? I want to hear all your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you did like the video, aim point, hit the like button and subscribe button, mean the absolute world to me. All glory to God. Be a blessed day, have a blessed day. So you need to have a blessed day. See you in the next video. Goodbye. Boo blah.